from the 58th Annual CMA Awards in Nashville. Hey, it's Danger live from Nashville for the 58th Annual CMA Awards broadcast, Froggy and Forever Media, with Marty from Shenendoah. How are you?
Doing good. You know, Danger, we have been here 39 years.
Wow.
This makes our 39th CMA. Lord, and that is absolutely unbelievable.
You know, there's such a love for the music from, I mean, what year did your first album come out? I mean, 39. I probably could do the math on it.
Well, our very first one, it didn't do much, but our first one came out in '88.
Okay.
And but we had started working. Shenandoah was in '87, and we signed our deal in '86. So, you know, it was around 89, 90. 91 is when we started kind of getting a little bit of an apex of the level that we were headed for, and you know, yeah. But it's been a while back. But I mean I even remember our first CMA. It was pretty happening as well too. And
who was hosting that year? It was probably late '80s, early '90s.
You know,
wasn't Vince Gill? It was before him.
No, all I can remember is who brought us on that night. Eddie Arnold and Don Williams introduced us that night.
That's cool.
That was cool.
What are your observations as an artist that emerged like late '80s, early '90s to what is happening now in music in late 2024? Do you ever think, man, if we were coming on the scene right now, it would be totally different how you? Or is there a lot of stuff that's still the same about how to make it in this industry?
Well, I mean, there's some things. There's some things that are the same, and then there's some different things as well too. And I don't know. I just think that everybody's got a time and a place because I believe in the providence of God, and I believe that you know what time was marked for us was when it was. But the one thing I will say, what's really pretty neat. Is kind of like the resurgence of 90s country music. I mean, it's literally given us. I mean, we actually have a new career.
Wow.
You know, and of course, we don't have to work for it like we did when we had to work for the first one. You know, and man, Danger. I mean, we already feel fortunate enough to even have one.
Right.
Because I mean, there's a ton of people out there that never got the lick that they should have got. You know, that it just never panned out for them. But now we had that one, and now we're fortunate enough to even have another one. You know, and the reason being is because of, like I'm saying, this resurgence of 90s country music. And man, we get out there, man, we're seeing 15, 16, 17-year-old kids out there singing every lyric of the song, and you're thinking, man, these kids wasn't even born.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about even, you know, when our career was over.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I know you guys came through and played just south of Pittsburgh in the mountains there at Timber Creek Amphitheater.
Yeah, that's right.
Love that place. The view of the mountains from behind that stage.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
But like 2 Dozen Roses with Luke Combs doing that song with you guys. I mean, it reminds you those songs sound great on the radio. They sound, you know what I mean? And at your show, and I know they had Travis Tritt out there this summer and Clint Black. There's these people, like you said, that when those songs came out, they weren't born yet, but they love the music.
Yeah. In fact, we just got done doing a video from being out of the studio with Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan, where we've done Sunday in the South together.
Wow, that's cool.
And you know, that was not anything that was contrived. It wasn't anything that was, you know, okay, well let's do this, but let's put these guys on it. It wasn't anything like that at all. I went over to do one of the songs for Luke's 30 number one party night, and while there, I sang one of Luke's number one records, and Luke Bryan, I'm talking about.
Yep.
And while there,
which one did you sing, by the way?
I sang Fast.
Oh, yep.
The song Fast. And you know the reason why I did that, I'm glad you said that, and the reason why I did that is because I thought, you know, that sounds like something Shenendoah would cut. You know, that sounds like something we would do. And so anyway, that's the reason why I picked that one. But anyway, so while there, talked to Jason and Luke, and man, next thing you know, man, was in the studio, and man, it was going on, and like I said, we just finished up the video for it as well too.
When does that come out?
I guess it's kind of out now.
Okay.
But it's not anything that we really were pushing. I mean, it's just kind of it got out there, and it's kind of like a groundswell. The only thing that we've intentionally done was do a video, and so anyway, so that's kind of where we are with that.
That's awesome.
And that was pretty neat. I thought I looked rather well in the video.
I think it says something, when the biggest stars in our genre right now love your music. You know what I mean? There's a real respect for it, and you guys were the music from the country music from the '90s is like music that will live on forever, no doubt about it.
Well, man, we've been real fortunate, brother. We were smart enough. Thank goodness we were smart enough to cut great songs, and songs have the power to stay and to do on its own, and if you don't pull it off, and that comes to finding those ones that work for you. Man, look at George Strait, man. The guy's got 40 years of nothing but #1 records. You can't name a decade that George Jones. You can't name a year that George Jones didn't have. George Strait didn't have 2 #1 records in it.
Well, there's a tribute to George Strait at the CMA Awards. Are you going to be out there? I got to ask. I know we got to wrap this up, but
no,
are you? Okay.
And I'd give anything in the world to have been a part of the George Strait thing. I am a humongous Strait fan and always have. I'll never forget when he came out in 80 and 81. He had done the woman that I had wrapped around my finger just come unwound. and I actually at that time was talking with Irv Woolsey. That unfortunately died earlier this year, which was George's manager from the start, and he was over at MCA. And I actually was talking to Irv about trying to do a record label deal with him, and of course, he had to leave MCA because of him working with George. They got so big so fast that he had to move on. So
Became his own island.
Absolutely, and an island that he has. He's built an empire.
It'll be great to see him recognized at the CMA Awards. And Marty, thank you for stopping by. And can't wait to see Shenendoah back in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah, brother, that wouldn't hurt my feelings.
We're live at the 58th Annual CMA Awards with Froggy and Forever Media.